time for a spring clean, but it's not just your home or workplace that needs fresh air and a duster. The money in your ISAs and pensions needs attention too. So here are my 3 R's for a springtime review of your investment funds. Experts use the term asset allocation to describe how investors spread their money across different types of investments and markets. The point of asset allocation is to balance your investments so you maximise potential returns and minimise the risk of losses. However, if you don't spring clean your investments, they can become imbalanced and out of step with your original intentions. For example, an investor starts off with 70% of his or her money in shares and the rest in bonds. Half of the shares portion goes to the UK, with the rest split between the US and emerging markets. Over the next year, bonds do okay. The UK and US do really well, but emerging markets plunge. Overall, the investor has made money, but the balance is gone. The proportion in shares has risen to 80%. Bonds have shrunk, but the amount in emerging markets has fallen even more, while nearly half the fund is invested in the UK stock market. None of that's disastrous. In fact, it's the asset allocation many people want, but it's not what the investor in this example set out to do. The solution is simple. Take some of your profits and move money from areas that have done well into areas that have done less well. That maintains your asset allocation and means you're shifting some money from expensive markets into cheaper markets, which is a good idea. Some people use their annual ISA allowance to keep their asset allocation balanced. If one area is looking underweight, they can chuck some money into an appropriate fund before the end of the tax year. But that can create another problem. Some people invest in too many funds. As time goes by and your money grows, it can be easy to accumulate funds. So my second R is to reduce this profusion of investments. Professionals running portfolios for investors rarely hold more than 10 funds. One tip is to have no more than 2 funds for each main market. For example, you could have a fund investing in larger companies and another fund investing in smaller companies in the UK, US, Europe and emerging markets. That makes 8, leaving you 2 others to invest in bonds or anywhere else you like. But have you got the best funds? Your spring clean should include a review of how your funds are performing. Be prepared to switch out of funds that are seriously lagging their market and other funds. Even good fund managers have bad spells, so it can be tricky deciding when to move. Assume you thought the fund was good in the first place, then a 3 strikes and you're out policy can work. Review 1 identifies a fund that's not scoring. If it's still disappointing a year later, you give it one last chance, and if at the 3rd and final review it's still struggling, then it's out. So that's my 3 R's. Rebalance, reduce and refresh, and you'll keep your investments nice and tidy.